sports. It's the Texans and the Buccaneers coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Tonight, it is all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the AFC champion Houston Texans taking on the champions from the NFC, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. CD, this Houston team, this is a franchise that's only been around since 2002. Been a bit of a bumpy ride along the way, but here they are in their first ever Super Bowl.
And it's a unit that's believed in themselves, and let's face it, not many people believed in them going into the season. They were certainly not one of the favorites, but they've gotten better each week, and now they sit on the precipice of a first-ever title for any NFL team in the city of Houston.
Meanwhile, for the Bucs, the prevailing thought was no Tom Brady, no Super Bowl. But they're back looking for their second win in 4 years.
And add that to the first one that they had previously. Remember that one out in San Diego, partner? A big second half against the Raiders to get their first Super Bowl title. Now they want to get another one. Tom Brady or not, the Buccaneers feel good about this one.
So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. And bringing them out is the top pick in the 2018 draft, fiery competitor from Oklahoma, Baker Mayfield.
As we begin the Super Bowl, we are looking at one of the game's most important players. And whether he's the centerpiece of the offense or taking a backseat to his teammates, offenses always look to the quarterback to be a leader in moments like this. He's got to be that calm, composed pillar out there who stays level-headed and keeps everyone focused on the task at hand.
Baker going to throw this right away. The pass is caught by Cade Otton. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 12 yards on the gain. A great start for this offense.
They're just going to run a drive route here with their tight end. Let him get upfield about 10 yards and then move toward the middle of the field. This ball's right on target, and it results in a first down.
A first carry for Rashad White. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards.
As always, no rooting interest here, but that was pretty, wasn't it? To see him break through and then pick up his stride.
Yeah, the guy carrying the ball loves it. I think the O-line, they might like and take more satisfaction out of those runs than anybody else, though, right?
Without a doubt, because they're the ones that often have created it.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory, down at the 33. Mayfield on play action. And he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. Mike Evans with a first touchdown of this Super Bowl and a long one at that. And the Bucs march right down the field in 3 plays to claim the early advantage.
Brandon, this is the Super Bowl. A touchdown scored in any game is big. In this one, it's massive.
Chase McLaughlin on for the extra point. And that one gives the Bucs a 7-0 lead. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it's Mike Evans who caps it with a touchdown reception. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. So here come the Texans now for their first drive. Leading them out, a 2-year starter at Ohio State and 2nd overall pick in the draft, C.J. Stroud.
And as we know and as we've discussed here in the run-up to this game, this is history in the making. The first rookie quarterback to ever start in a Super Bowl. An absolutely tremendous accomplishment, something no one else has done. But he doesn't want to just go down as the first to make a Super Bowl. He's told us all week he's here to win it.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped him. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Well, they get to Stroud, nowhere to go, and he goes down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
The lessons will continue. This rookie, he's got to learn how to read situations just a little bit better. That far behind the line, he's got to find a way to get rid of the football and not take the sack, whether it's with his legs or just throwing it away.
And the Bucs with an extra defender in the secondary now on third down. Now Stroud. Under pressure, they got him again. And we've got an injured player, and that's running back Devin Singletary, who's in some discomfort. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. Here's Cameron Johnston now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. He'll take it a few steps in front of the 50. Touchdown, Tampa Bay! 51 yards there on the return punt. And the Buccaneers will add to their first quarter lead here in this Super Bowl.
When you got a guy that fast back there to receive punts, that's a nightmare for the guy game planning, the special teams coach. But it's also a nightmare for the punter. Sometimes they get so nervous that they mishit the ball and kick it right to him.
McLaughlin now to add the PAT. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. It's no secret. That's why they have him return punts. He has the capability to take them back, and he did so there. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. They trailed early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Pierce to begin the drive. Now he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Boy, you go 3 and out on your first drive. That's not the way you want to start this drive either. Doesn't seem like they're really into it just yet.
No, first 4 plays, you don't want to call it a disaster, but not looking very sharp. And he is going to go down. They sack him on the final play of the first quarter. That brings us to the end of one in Super Bowl 58. Much more to come from Las Vegas after this. 14-0 is our score. We'll return after this message. You're watching the NFL, and it's right here on EA Sports. And we are back and ready to go for the second quarter of the Super Bowl. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis, as always, thrilled to be with under pressure, and they got to him again. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6.
How about that, partner? His second sack of the game, and that puts him in some pretty good company. 17 guys have had 2 sacks in the previous 52 Super Bowls, but only 3 have had the record number of 3 sacks in this game.
And we've got the list here. If he gets another one and everyone behaves nicely, we might just list those out for him. A nice run back there off the good punt. It's a 16-yard return. And the Buccaneer offense will be set up well as they take over. Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their second drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
2 minutes on the clock in the second quarter of this Super Bowl. A reminder, coming up at intermission, we'll get highlights of this Super Bowl from Jonathan Coachman and the crew in Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Mike Evans his second touchdown in this Super Bowl.
Well, I don't think that we're ready yet to say the route is on, but they have certainly looked near flawless here in this first half, and now an extra point away from making it 21-0.
And your experience led you to say that, because we have both seen those 21-0 leads come and go in this league. But this one feels pretty darn secure. And here's the other part. Even when people chip away at it, it forces you into being almost perfect on the other side, doesn't it, in order to try and mount a comeback.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And it's now 21-0. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback.
Houston set to take over.
They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10.
Throwing now is Stroud. He'll get this out wide to Singletary.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Well, they get to Stroud, nowhere to go, and he goes down.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. They push him back 8 yards that time on second down.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Singletary, they'll go up the middle. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought up a punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
So we've reached halftime here in the Super Bowl as we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
Okay, Brandon, back to you guys in just a moment, but welcome everyone to our Creative Village studios in the EA Sports Halftime Report. We saw a strong first half out of the former Heisman Trophy. Both teams making their final adjustments of the season during this long halftime break. Who will claim the Lombardi Trophy? To find out, we go back to Brandon and Charles in Vegas for the second half of Super Bowl 58.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl.
And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback.
So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this third quarter.
And right now, their chances of hoisting that Lombardi Trophy not looking too great, but perhaps that long halftime, maybe it did them a world of good.
But if there's ever a chance to regroup, it's in this game, right? Because you do have that long halftime, a chance to really assess things and maybe make some changes and true adjustments. They played great all year long. That was the worst first half of the season for them. They're hoping to put it behind them and come out punching here in the second half.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
But no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Meanwhile, Stroud's throw complete into the hands of Schultz here.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
Let's go now.
A give, Singletary right side.
And he's fortunate to get anything from that. Give him a yard up to the 49. That ground game contained again there, Charles, and that's really a big reason that they're trailing right now.
They give a lot of credit to that defensive front. That's exactly what they worked for all week, to try and take away the run game, make them one-dimensional. In the battle of game plans, theirs has been superior.
And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6.
Back to throw. Here's Stroud.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him.
Mike Evans in the Tampa offense about to set up shop.
Not a bad day at the office there. Maybe he would like the catch number to go up a little bit, but I think most guys would say 2 catches, 2 touchdowns. Yeah, that's okay.
I think if the catch number goes up, we start talking about the record books, because at that pace, this type of efficiency, oh yeah, I think I'd throw it to him a little bit more often.
And boy, now you see him, now you don't. Excellent move, nice run, winds up getting about 6.
From the 32-yard line now, here's a 2nd and 4.
They keep it on the ground. White again. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2.
67 yards rushing for him now, and he's only carried the ball 4 times. We are through 3 quarters of play here from Allegiant Stadium in Super Bowl 58. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. And there's just 1 quarter that remains in this edition of the biggest game of the year, the Super Bowl, as we get set for the 4th quarter. White will score. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Just power football there down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible. But all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
McLaughlin for the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive.
And it was Rachaad White who wrapped the drive up with a touchdown run.
Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
And the Texans set to come onto the field.
And it's becoming more and more apparent that this is just not going to be their night. That Lombardi trophy so close, but the expectations simply have not matched the results as they start on this drive, 1st and 10.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Here's Stroud.
And that is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
If they're going to have a shot in this Super Bowl, they're going to need this one on 4th down.
Singletary, they'll run for it.
And boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he's short of the line to gain. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on 4th. And the Bucs are going to take over with excellent field position to boot.
And defensively, they were ready for that. A full-on blitz on 4th down, and they stop them short of the marker.
Oh, and someone's got to feel really good about that, and that's the defensive coordinator. He dialed up a great run blitz defense, and they hit it just right. Stack that thing up. They're going to feel awesome going to the bench after that big play.
Hey, alert 33.
They go play action. Mayfield, he's going to let this go. Back of the end zone, and that is incomplete. Oh, he had it and dropped it. That is an unforced error there, and it takes away what could have been a touchdown.
And that's one of the few things that has not gone right for this offense so far. They've had their share of big plays. That was nearly another. But somehow, he just couldn't squeeze it.
Here's 2nd and 10. Mayfield looks to throw. Airing this one out for Evans. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. So still throwing here in the 4th quarter with a pretty sizable lead. And now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up. And he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And that makes this 35-0 now. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And their Super Bowl hopes are dwindling here in the 4th. That AFC crown from 2 weeks ago starting to seem like a distant memory. And this one just has not gone as they had hoped. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Stroud. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Escaping the pressure right. And that'll be incomplete with a penalty flag here on the field. And I'm not sure he was still behind the line when he let that thing go. Yeah, we kind of sensed that one. He got a little too far forward before throwing, and that one will set them back.
And remember, at the NFL level, being aware of where the line of scrimmage is crucial. And here's the other part. Any part of the quarterback's body that's near that line of scrimmage, he's going to get the benefit of the doubt. So he was clearly over the line.
On is the punter, Johnston, now as he sends this one away. A nice little juke. And he's loose again. And they're going to finish this one off strong. It's a return touchdown to add on to their lead in the final stages. Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we haven't been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
McLaughlin now to add the PAT. Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Well, we know he has home run hitting ability in the punt return department, and he showcases it there all the way back for 6. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now out comes Houston. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down. Stroud to throw it.
We're going to give out a little applause on that play. It has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
Stroud now on second down. Over the middle, that's caught by Mechie. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Stroud will look to throw once more. And that one to the right side and incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
2nd and 10, Stroud to throw yet again here. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Well, they get to Stroud, nowhere to go, and he goes down. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. One final shot for C.J. Stroud. One last shot at the end zone. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have won the Super Bowl, and they will hoist the Lombardi Trophy to cap an amazing season. And when this moment comes, I think you look back at all the blood, sweat, and tears, the offseason, the workouts, training camp, week 1, 2, 3, all building up now to say you're a Super Bowl champion. It's worth it.
It certainly is, and rarely do we have a team that hoists a Lombardi Trophy that didn't have their share of bumps along the way, didn't have to face some adversity in the journey, and now they get to just enjoy it and revel in it. And all offseason, they'll be signing their autographs with Super Bowl champion underneath it.